Hello everybody, welcome back. This is game number 3 between our vampire EdwardCullen and our Protoss player Tomnov, and it is a best of 3. Currently each player has won one game and they have also consequently lost one game. So we are going to be playing on, it looks like, Lost Temple here, or actually this is going to be Shatter Temple, I apologize. And it looks like on the last game here, EdwardCullen says nice 5-gate. Actually it was a 4-gate, and we actually saw that. Much more better. So it worked brilliantly, especially since he was able to stop the Roach Rush from Vampire here, and 6-pull. I don't know what that was all about. So there was no 6-pull there. It was a Roach Rush, which actually failed, and unfortunately the Protoss player had a couple proxy pylons, and consequently followed up with a decent army and took out our Vampire Zerg. And he wasn't exactly too happy about that. Anyway, this probe here is scouting the correct direction. It looks like he might have actually seen that Overlord. He already blocks this natural off with pylons, so I'm not sure how EdwardCullen is going to react to that. The thing is, he could easily just drop down his pool and do a one-base Zerg play, get a Nidus Worm or something out. He's already got his Overlord that spotted us out. Now, one thing I'm going to point out, too, is that Tomnov here saw this Overlord had spotted him very quickly, which means he knew that EdwardCullen was spawning just across the way here, which is why he sent his probe all the way over here. He already knew. He didn't even come in here and see the creep, and he automatically put his pylon down here. So he knew that just because of the timing of that Overlord by the time he got to his base here. In the meantime, his Overlord is going to spot this here because at this point, hey, why not go for some kind of a pool, some kind of a Ling rush here, or something. We'll see. Maybe not a rush because he is getting his gas here, and these probes are ready to go. They cannot wait to get in and start harvesting that gas. So let's see what kind of an opening we have here. This is Olanga Tavern. I'm going to call it a tavern. Our tavern here in the very middle of the map allows any of these players who controls it to see anything that's coming up. The only way that, well, if a unit comes around here and sneaks in through the trees here, and then sneaks right back out here, then you'll be able to basically avoid detection. But this tower is really good for, especially if you're playing in a cross position. So in this matchup, it's not really that important, but yeah, because these units can just sneak right in through here. But we will see. It looks like our Protoss player is going for double gas here. He is going for, he's getting his zealot out quick, just in case some Lings decide to make their way up, and these Lings are actually going to start working on this pylon down here. So it looks like his player is going to try to play it safe and do more of a macro game. He is getting a second gas though, so we'll see. It looks like maybe Zerg may go for a little bit higher tier player, higher tier units. So there goes that pylon. Now you've got 60 Zerglings on the field, so we'll see what he decides to do with them. Most likely come over here and take this Zolongai Watchtower. Sure enough, here they come. He is dropping down his natural with several more Zerglings. So it looks like he is going to send these Zerglings up here most likely and try to get some kind of a harassment going on. Oh, don't open up your wall. You probably don't want to do that with this many Zerglings coming by. Now this probe here, being the total Watchtower Zerg probe that he is, he sees all these Lings coming, and so he is automatically chrono boosting this out, and he's got a stalker on standby here. So we'll see if this many Zerglings is enough to break down this wall here. So sure enough, they are going to go. Oh, and he stuck his Zerglings right by. What are you doing? He's going to get us around on the stalker here, and also going to try to get us around on the zealot. Oh man, he's going to take off his pylon. This is exactly what he should have done last game, and he recognizes that now. But now they got the sentry out. Oh, and the sentry was able to, yeah, he was able to actually trap one poor little Zergling underneath the sentry. That was bad. That was a pretty good job for Tomnov there. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Legolas from Team Orion, and I'm going to be bringing you the third game in the best of 3 between our vampire EdwardCullen and our Protoss player Tomnov here. They are going to be spawning on the top left and top right locations here on Shatter Temple. And it looks like they're going to talk a little bit about the last game. Yeah, it was actually a 4-gate. I hate to spoil that. And it was actually a perfect counter to the Roach Rush that our vampire EdwardCullen here had for him, and it turned out really well for a Protoss player. He was able to get his proxy pylon up there and was ready to counter. Did a beautiful counter and took that game. So it looks like this Overlord is taking the right path across the water here. He's going to notice. He's going to notice Nexus here and know that that's where his opponent is. So at the same time, you have Tomnov, who is coming over here, and he's going to check this location first. This is really smart of him. Check this location first because it really opens up. Now I'm not sure if was he able to actually see. He wasn't able to actually see the creep. So but you know what? Actually, what happened? Now that I see this here, what happened was Tomnov saw that this Overlord had made it over to his base really quickly, so before even sending his probe up here to be spotted by something, he already knew that his opponent was up here because of the timing of this Overlord floating across the water here. So, interesting enough, he does go ahead and sacrifice 100 minerals here to lay down a pylon, which is going to block any kind of an early expansion attempt by the Zerg player. That can be frustrating as Zerg, but at the same time, all the Zerg has to do is basically work off of one base, and he can apply a lot of pressure by doing that early on. So it's going to be up to our Protoss player as to how he's going to react to this. So you do see that pool is down and the gas is down also. So we'll probably see some links come out and take out this pylon here, or they might try to control the middle here, or kind of poke up here and see what Tomnov is. Actually, there's no reason to do that because there's an Overlord sitting right over here. So EdwardCullen knows exactly what Tomnov is doing right now. He has full vision of Tomnov's base. He's going to see that this gas is coming out here, and we'll see what else Tom decides to do here. He is going to most likely lay down his Cyber Core and get that first Zealot out to protect against any Lings that might come. And let's see, the Lings are on their way here. They should be on their way. They've got 2 of them coming, and these Lings are, yeah, there's only 2 of them coming, so he's probably just going to bust down this pylon and then just kind of sit back and start macroing up a little bit. So in the meantime, we have this probe who is being the ever watchful eye in the sky for our Protoss player, which is good if the units come running through here in the middle, but one of the things that they can do is they can skirt right around here and go through the trees, and he can avoid the watchtower here and make some kind of a sneak attack here, but if he just sets them to run over here automatically, then those Lings are going to run right through the middle, and our Protoss player is going to see that. So Tomnov is now supply blocked. It looks like we do have metabolic boost on the way, as well as 4 more Lings. We've got 1 Stalker coming out here for Tom. It looks like he's going to try to make sure he has a pretty decent wall. Now, hey, something to actually keep in mind here. It looks like that Zealot alone is not going to be able to wall this off, so this is not the best building placement here. You have to have 2 units in order to secure this, and I think he's going to think that this Zealot alone is going to block this off, but spoiler alert, you've got a bunch of Lings hurting your way, and you have a gap that they can just barely squeeze by, so he's got to be very careful about this. These Lings are going to possibly be able to rush right in here. Are they going to make it? Yeah, yes! Oh, they were able to squeeze by, and it looks like, instead of going in and harassing the middle lane, they're actually going to try to take on the Zealot and Stalker. It's kind of an okay choice here, but unfortunately he's going to lose a lot of Lings in the process. He's going to have only 3 or 4 left here, and the Sentry is going to pop out here, and the Sentry is going to get surrounded. Oh no! The Sentry was able to micro and take out that Zergling, and he trapped one of the Zerglings. Ooh, that must have been a really uncomfortable position for that Zergling. He was in between the first field and the gateway here, so that Zergling was going nowhere. So, pretty good job by Tomnov, and he's already got his warp gates just about on the way here, and he still has the eye in the sky here. He sees that there's a bunch more Zerglings coming, so it looks like Vampire Zerg is going to continue the Zergling attack. But with the Sentry here now, all he has to do is lay down a Sentry here and split these guys up. Oh, and he's not. He's going to lay down a force field, but he doesn't even have enough energy to do that. So these Zerglings, unfortunately, are not going to be able to get by. You do have 2 units here completing this wall off, and with the addition of the Stalker here, there's not a whole lot that our Zerg player is going to be able to do at this point. So looks like Tomnov is going to get a quick upgrade for his ground level. He is going to go ahead and get himself a few more gateways here. He does have double gas, so that tells me he's probably going to switch to a higher tier play here. Now, at the same time, though, you have EdwardCullen, who is taking this time taking the liberty to expand here, so he's going to have a much better macro game going very soon. It looks like he's got melee attack on the way. He's got 6 more lings on the way. So we'll see what he has planned. I don't know if maybe he's just going to try a mass. Oh, and he does have a Banelings. Banelings. Oh! And they were able to do a little bit of damage, but not very much. So unfortunately, oh, these lings are going to do a run by. Oh, and they're going to come in here and harass the mineral line. Let's see what his reaction is going to be. How well his micros will do probes. And right now, apparently, it's not very good. He's just kind of looking. There we go. Turn the probes around and start taking out the lings. But oh, the probes are dying. They are dying quickly. So, but surprisingly, that didn't actually hurt him that bad. He's still just about even as far as probes and drones here. But at the same time, though, he has lost a lot more than our... I'm sorry, that's actually... let's see if we can figure this out here. Units killed. Okay, how about army supply? Okay, that's our army supply. How about units lost? There we go. That's what I was trying to get to. So it looks like our Protoss player is a little bit ahead in units lost count, which is not actually where you want to be. So our Zerg player, in the meantime, has a lot of Zerglings here. He does have some spine crawlers, not a bad idea here, in case the Protoss player decides to do a counter like he did before. He does have a Roach Warren finally coming up, but a lot of these Banglings here, these Stalkers have got to be really careful because they can get, these Zerglings can get a really good round on them. And sure enough, they're not going to be enough Stalkers, or Zerglings to really get a really decent round. So they are going to wisely back off. It would be much wiser him to get a few Banelings that can help take out some of these Zealots or something. But these Zerglings are just trying to, I think they're just trying to tempt this Protoss player to get out here in the open where he may be able to get a pretty decent round. But I mean, right now, all he's got is Zerglings. He does have some upgrades on the way, centrifugal hooks on the way. So we'll see. Right now, I think the advantage is definitely going to go to the Protoss player. He's got a little bit better units, and he's got armor on the way, which is not a bad idea. He does have a 4-gate basically going on. He did lay down a cannon just in case some lings try to run it again, but one cannon is not going to secure that completely. He does have a couple Hydras on the way. He's got 3 Hydras, so that's really good. Now, what happened in the first game is, this is almost exactly what happened in the first game, actually, is that Tomnov basically just sat back and on his 2 bases and just kept building up his army a little bit, while our Vampire EdwardCullen went ahead and got his 3rd and just basically macroed and got a little bit better units that took out that Protoss ball. So we'll see if the same thing happens. I'm not sure. He does have a couple Spore Crawlers coming down. I'm not sure. Did he see something that I did not? I guess not, no. So I'm not sure why the Spore Crawlers are going down. There's really no air here from the Protoss. So, wouldn't have been my first choice, but oh well. Maybe he just has that 6th sense and he knows that something's going to come down on for our Protoss player here. But right now I'm not seeing it. But he does see a Spire coming. Our Vampire Zerg here is going to, looks like he's going to start taking to the air, which is not a bad choice. He does have a lot of different tech trees going at the same time. He's got Hydras, he's got the Evo Chamber, he's got Banelings, he's got the Roach Warren, and now he's got a Spire going up. So our Zerg player needs to probably figure out what tech tree he wants to work on right now, because unfortunately going through all those tech trees on a 2-base Zerg is you're just putting all your minerals and gas into those tech trees. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. At the same time, though, our Protoss player is just starting to really mass up a pretty decently sized army. And, see, we've got another cannon coming right here, which I'm not too crazy about the placement of that cannon there, just because, I mean, it'll cover a large part of this area here, but, I mean, really, it's not going to stock any kind of run by, although these cannons will. So, I don't know. I guess it's okay. Our Protoss player is definitely going for some heavy gas, and he did get the Twilight Council, so he's going to get some Zealot legs, some rush. But spoiler alert, Zealots cannot bring down air units, which is exactly